Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Sunday, April the 24th, race number 8 at Aqueduct. It's one of two stakes races on the card. This race for 3-year-old fillies going 1 mile and a 16th on the outer turf. It's the Memories of Silver Stakes. Let's take a peek at this field. We've got 6 entered for turf. The 2 Waters of Meram is entered main track only, and you can view free Formulator past performances on the Race of the Day event page at DRF.com. Take a peek, handicap along with us. Mike, very excited to see the 6 Pizza Bianca back in the entries. 3 to 5 on the morning line, the winner of last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, and Jose Ortiz gave her an amazing ride that day.
Yeah, it really did. We'll look at that, the replay, the stretch run of that Breeders' Cup Juvenile Filly Mare Turf later. An expert ride from Jose, but give the horse some credit too, Dan. She was there for him every step of the way and kept coming through between horses. Really good performance the last time we saw her, and she is very heavily favored on the morning line here.
Now, the Breeders' Cup was a full field. It featured a very fast pace. This is a much shorter field, and the pace is not expected to be fast at all. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. It is the rare gray bar scenario. No speed. And I agree with Timeform US that the number 4, A Little Love and Luck, can be forwardly placed. While Sail By was far behind in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, she was up close when she won the Miss Griot at Belmont 2 starts back. Those two are going to be close to the pace.
Yeah, they are. We'll see how much the early fractions affect, the shorter prices in this race. Obviously, Pizza Bianca, when you see a horse 3 to 5 on the line, you're worried about, her not getting the right situation, I guess, especially off the layoff, Dan. I guess, at least in her defense, she showed 2 starts back and then a Talma up at Woodbine that she can keep close to the pace if she has to.
A horse that might really be at the mercy of this pace scenario is the number 1, On Alert, a talented daughter of Medaglia d'Oro. She cost $500,000 as a yearling, and for Shig McGahee, she's run very well in her last 3 races. Let's watch the Grade 3 Florida Oaks. She was bumped from both sides at the start, and Javier Castellano took her back to last and immediately to the inside. There was not a lot of pace going on, as you see by these fractions, but she showed a little bit of moxie running on at the end. She was kind of the only horse making up meaningful late ground.
Yeah, I thought she ran okay in here. There was no pace in this race either. She did get to save a lot of ground and got a clean run through the stretch, but she also finished up pretty well in there. I thought that was a good performance. I like her, Dan. I like all of her races. I think there's a lot of potential here for this horse. I am worried about, how this race is going to set up because she hasn't shown speed in any of her 4 starts so far. So that could really work against her. But all things being equal, I think she's a pretty nice fit in this race.
The 2 Waters of Meram is entered for main track only. So we'll quickly move on to one of the 2 Chad Brown train runners in this race, the number 3, Miss U Ella. And Miss U Ella figures to go off a much bigger price than Chad's number 7, Consumer Spending. Now, Miss U Ella's only victory came over the new Tapeta surface at Gulfstream. Chad tried her in a stakes race last time out, the Grade 3 Swedish Chant. And we'll take a look at that race right now. And there was a fast pace in this race, and Miss U Ella was completely out sprinted. And as we turn into the stretch, Miss U Ella swings to the far outside and she picks up some pieces to run third. The winner is a nice horse. She would come back to run second in the Here Comes the Bride with an 87 buyer. She just has the misfortune, Miss U Ella, to catch 2 really nice horses in this race. If you believe Consumer Spending's a little bit better than she is.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, she runs okay in this race, as you already mentioned. There was a pretty good pace going on here. This field was all stretched out up the backstretch. And when we picked up that replay there at the top of the stretch, Dan, she was basically right alongside the eventual winner at the top of the stretch. And she just got out-kicked by that horse. I still thought she ran okay. I think her maiden win 2 back, I know it was on a different surface, but I feel like that was a real step in the right direction for this filly, Dan. The figure came back low, but they were crawling in front of her there. And she actually had to lose ground to get out into the clear. And she still came and closed that race. And I thought that was a good performance. I do think she's getting better.
The 4 is A Little Love and Luck, and A Little Love and Luck became the first stakes winner sired by the popular racehorse Arrogate when she won the Ginger Brew on turf 3 starts back, albeit with a perfect pace-tracking, ground-saving trip under Paco Lopez. They tried her on dirt 2 starts back, and she really wasn't embarrassed against top Kentucky Oaks contender Nest. Last time out in the Florida Oaks, that was the race we showed you with On Alert, and I realized there was no closing going on. I don't think she had the greatest trip, but I thought that On Alert ran better.
I did too. I mean, I guess the difference, if you're trying to, make excuses for A Little Love and Luck, the difference, I guess, for that race anyway, was she was wide the entire way, and On Alert was, saving ground the entire way. I still didn't feel like this filly ran that great in there. I know she got an 80 in the Ginger Brew. She just got such a perfect trip in that race. I don't know. My problem with her, Dan, is outside of the Ginger Brew, I don't really like any of her other races.
She does pick up an aggressive rider in Kendrick Carmouche in a paceless race. She's trained by a very underrated horseman in Mike Deeney, and she's going to be a good price. Sail By is up next. She won the Grade 2 Miss Grillo 2 starts back, going a mile and a 16th, and I think she might work out a similar trip as that race, where she sat just off the leader and forged by in the stretch. In the Breeders' Cup, okay, she wasn't as good as Pizza Bianca was on that day. She probably has to take a slight step forward, but race dynamics are in her favor.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it could make a little bit of a difference anyway. She's another one, Dan, when you go back and watch that Breeders' Cup. Not only couldn't she really get forward in there, not that they necessarily tried to, but just sort of stuck out there 3-4 wide all the way around the track in that spot. I don't think it was a terrible performance. Her Miss Grillo, she took advantage in that race. What can you say? Maybe got even a little lucky to win. But she was underrated going into the Miss Grillo. I think she's underrated now as she steps up as a 3-year-old in this race, and I don't think she's impossible on here.
Pizza Bianca is up next, and we're going to watch her run in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. She was in among horses on the backstretch. She was actually steadied back to last at the 5/16, and right here you're hoping maybe she can pick up a nice piece. Jose Ortiz angles in between horses right here. Looks like he might be looking for an inside run. Now he spies a hole in between horses. He guides Pizza Bianca there, and Pizza Bianca is on her way. This is a pretty easy win, Mike, considering she was so far back and she had to weave her way through traffic. Doubtlessly talented.
Yeah, it was a good performance. Like I said, I mean, Ortiz sort of made all the right moves once he wound up last coming into the stretch, but this filly was there for him every step of the way, Dan. Every time he needed her to respond, she responded. It was a good performance. She also ran really well in the Natalma prior to that. The winner of that race was way too good for her, but she ran fine in that race. All 3 of her races are good. You have the layoff to deal with here. Maybe she doesn't catch a great setup, and all those things sort of conspire against her here, but she's a really nice filly.
Consumer Spending finished 6th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf. You can click on the short comment in your free Formulator past performances to access that video replay and watch it again and again. Consumer Spending was a little bit closer to that fast pace than Pizza Bianca, down towards the inside, in a little bit of minor traffic, I thought, in mid-stretch. Finished up okay. I thought it was a good performance. I thought she took advantage of a hot pace against a bad field in the Salima 2 starts back. So she does have things to prove, but I also think she has a lot of upside.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I didn't love her as a 2-year-old. I will say the more I watched the replay of that Breeders' Cup race last time, I don't know about you, Dan. I wish I could have found a head-on for that. I could not find a head-on replay anywhere because it did look like there might have been a point where she had a little trouble and you just couldn't see it. She ran fine in that race. I didn't love her races prior to that. Each one of her first 3 starts, Dan, big paces in front of her. And she just sort of took advantage, I thought. That being said, I still feel like she's probably better than I gave her credit for. She's a dangerous horse in here.
But a slow pace could work against her because as it stands right now, it appears she is a 1-run closing type. Friends, head on over to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. Please, please, please click on that subscribe button to get all the latest videos from DRF TV. Top pick time, Pizza Bianca, Mike, the horse to beat. She's going to be the big favorite.
Yeah, I just didn't have any good ideas against her, Dan. I wanted to put Shug's horse on top. I really feel like she's going to be most badly compromised of anyone, maybe by the race shape here. So I didn't take her on top. I'm just going to stick with the favorite.
I am very, very concerned that Miss Uella might not be as good as some of the other horses in this race, but she does have a slight recency advantage over the horses coming out of the Breeders' Cup, and she at least showed in the synthetic race that she can stay relatively close to very slow fractions. So maybe she'll work out a trip in the second flight and get the jump on these closers turning for home, but she's certainly going to have to improve. Pizza Bianca's way, the horse to beat. Mike goes Pizza Bianca. I take a small stab with Miss Uella in the Memories of Silver, one of 2 stakes races at the Big A on Sunday. Good luck.